So this is an interesting article by KKTV, Channel 11, which really isn't this the whole point? The media and the police, they team up together, and I don't read anybody's name on this, okay? So there's a guy in Pueblo West, we'll just call him Brandon, because, I mean, it doesn't, who cares? He wasn't hurting anybody, and he was raising 100 plants. Back just 1 year ago, we were allowed to raise 99 plants. Now it's down to 16, 12, 9, who the fuck knows now? But now he was raising 100 plants, right? 99 plants, and then they took 98 plants. So how many are we allowed to raise? Just 2? And so Brandon, gets arrested, and they don't mention anybody else's name. So they just say that he's, from Pueblo West, and somebody had noticed a trash barrel on fire, so there's some snitch, right? I smell marijuana. Somebody's burning marijuana. I better say something. Then the deputies get there, and they pretty much, kind of use the wife against the husband or the woman. She was like, oh yeah, the marijuana's right out here, but she said that the marijuana was hers, but he was tending to it for her. And so my guess is it's her property, and she was letting him stay in something like that. She said that the marijuana's for her, but that her husband tended to the plants. So that's remarkable, right? These are my but she didn't get arrested. He got arrested. She didn't get arrested, which is interesting, right? It's her plants. It's on her property. She's paying for it. When you want to go after the top dog, I mean, why just go after the worker bee? So they said detectives executed the search warrant, seized 98 marijuana plants. So they're robbing this man. Brandon is getting robbed of, how much? Thousands of dollars. And there's only 8 licensed places around here. Marijuana's too goddamn expensive to begin with. I propose to close all of the current grows and the retail stores down because they are just profit gouging. They're price gouging. They're maximizing profits, and you would think that prices would go down now that it's legalized. Ounces should be $5 an ounce. But instead, it's still, $100, $200, $300, $500. So this is ridiculous. Is this a free market? I mean, marijuana is legal right now. So this is also goes against the Danny Escar, and then that guy with the cowboy hat. Basically, our representatives in the state house. They passed this shit. They don't have to get, they don't get hit with this stuff, right? They got a nice, comfy life. And now this guy's just a working man trying to make a little bit of money, raised 100 plants, and now he's going to, serve fucking years in jail because of, well, you didn't have the proper licenses. What I do is I say, you can't do it like this, don't do it like that, but here's the correct path. Now get on the correct path. I mean, my God, the barriers to entry for any businesses for the first 3 years, if you start a restaurant, you're supposed to just expect loss after loss until eventually you start to make a profit. So this is just extra bullshit. This is regulations. This is stopping the working class man. This is anti-capitalism. I mean, this is a man who's trying to, start his own business, trying to do something, right? He's raising something. He's producing something. He's adding to the GDP. You know who didn't add to the GDP? These sheriff's deputies. They didn't add to the GDP. They didn't make or produce anything. So they're not helping the economy whatsoever. They're helping their paymasters. They're helping the rich. They went ahead and passed out 8 licenses. So there's 8 millionaires in town. And then now we're just going to do whatever the fuck those 8 millionaires says to do? No, I think it's bullshit. I want to see marijuana gardens. I want to see everybody raising marijuana everywhere. And for the way I understand it, we're still allowed to raise 16 plants. And so the fact that they took 98 out of 100, does the sheriff's office not know what's going on? Or are they just the biggest gang in town and they could do as the fuck as they please and ain't nobody going to stop them? They're not the judicial branch, not the legislative branch, not the executive branch, right? They're the head fascists in charge. They're the head Nazis in charge. They're going to go around still doing the war on drugs against marijuana. I mean, this is just, he paid for the equipment, he paid for the electricity, now he's false kidnapping, he's being attacked, there's assault, right? And he's lost all that fucking money. I mean, let's just add it up. So before it's $10,000 I once heard per marijuana plant, so $10,000 times 100. They stole that $1 million from that man. They stole $1 million from him, and we're going to be like, yay, good job. So this makes me hate KKTV. And they didn't mention, of course, they don't mention anything about who did it, who arrested, who put their hands on, who thought it was a good idea. Nope, nobody gave a shit about that. The police are totally invisible. Who was the person who assaulted and battered old Brandon? Who, put his hand, who's the snitch? And then, here's another thing is this other story. They're killing people in our jail system. So is he going to die now? Is he going to die now because of, you know, the bullshit laws? This is supposed to be, we're the first state to legalize marijuana, but we're going to drop the fucking ball because you got 7 other states. So if these other states, you know, can get their, encourage their citizenry to start raising it, not don't want, take it out of the criminal, put it in the regular people's hands. And then we'll, you know, God, we'll make so much fucking money if we embrace it. But if we keep running away from it and acting like, well, let's be in between. No, not in between. Marijuana garden. If everybody's raising marijuana gardens, nobody's robbing from anybody, nobody's stealing, everybody's got, you know, plenty of marijuana for them to smoke and then maybe even some extra to make a little bit of money on. That's a good thing. That's capitalism. That's us, you know, producing something like the steel plant, right? They produce a bunch of steel. Well, we don't have big fucking factories to be able to make steel, but we do have, you know, some ground and some dirt and some seeds. So I feel like, anyways, this pissed me off. I don't even know, is there even, yeah, there's not even a person who wrote the article. The article just wrote its fucking self. KKTV, Channel 11, going around following the cops, beating the shit out of people still, right? Not heroin, not, still marijuana. Still marijuana. War on drugs is still going strong here in Pueblo. Which is bullshit. So, John Masters, straight from the underground. Peace.